everybody, this is Anna, also known as AnnaKnitter on Ravelry, and where you else can find and support me, you can find in the description box below. My last podcast is 2 weeks ago. This is a knitting and crocheting podcast, and this is episode 101. This time I have to show you finished objects, works in progress, new patterns, a very interesting yarn, incoming goodies, and we have knit-along talk. And I want to, knit-along talk, and I want to present you a very awesome knit-along, but I think the word knit-along isn't appropriate for that, because that is so much more than only a knit-along. It is so much fun, and it's a real game on Ravelry. So stay tuned for that. Maybe I can insert chapters on YouTube so that you can, if I don't forget it, so you can skip forward if you want to skip a chapter, but you're interested in the next one. Okay, recording works. I'm sitting here in one of my favorite places in our flat, and when I look outside, it is snow white outside, but with a hint of orange, because our snow was completely melted away already. We had, I think, 2 days of completely green meadows, but overnight, last night, it started to snow again. And in addition to that, after a few hours of snowing, we received Sahara sand. Again, I have experienced this many times now, but only in the summer. And this time we had this Sahara storm in the winter. The white snow is covered with orange sand. I will insert a few photos here. It's not in your face orange, but you can definitely see there is a layer upon the very bright white snow. And I was asking myself, could this be Sahara sand, like in the summer when you had the laundry outside and it was covered in sand? And I asked a man who was shoveling the snow for us, and I was using many words and asking him, like, have you noticed that, and why is that color so weird? And he only answered, Sahara. Yeah, and then I knew what's going on. Okay, let's go right into knitting. Before I start talking about all my projects and so on, I want to correct myself. I talked about the Minecraft pattern, and that is a free pattern on Ravelry. I have forgotten when it was released, but it was released already many years ago, and as I said, it's free. It's only the stitch pattern. If I remember correctly, the Minecraft pattern doesn't come with the instructions on how to knit a sock. You only get the pattern. And a viewer told me in the comments, and then I quoted the viewer, that there is a designer who charge you for a pattern with the same stitch pattern. And we thought that is weird because it's a younger pattern. But the designer reached out to me. It is Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears, and she told me, well, I don't only offer the stitch pattern you knit on the leg and the upper side of the foot, but also she also gives instructions for a certain heel and a toe, and all the pattern support you usually get from a good designer when you buy a pattern. So she gives you a lot of instructions and help, and you can reach out to her if you are stuck in her patterns. So I think if we consider that, it's okay that she wants money for that pattern. So I just wanted to correct myself, that she doesn't copy a free pattern and charge you for that. Okay, now we come to my finished objects. My first finished object is a pair of socks. I have knit a pair of socks in Regia 6-ply. So I think 6 and 8-ply sock yarn isn't really a thing in every country, in other countries. So Regia is a German traditional sock yarn brand, and they offer you 4-ply, so the normal sock yarn, 6-ply, that is, a yarn made from 6 strands, so a little bit thicker than 4-ply, and 8-ply. 8-ply would be DK weight yarn. Yeah, okay, and this is 6-ply. It's the colorway Norway, and that should be familiar to you if you have watched my other episodes already, because this is the 3rd pair I have knit in that colorway. I have a never-ending story with this yarn. Okay, let me talk about this pair of socks first, and then I tell you why I have knit so many socks already out of that yarn, out of that colorway. Okay, 6-ply yarn you usually knit with about 3mm needles. I'm an average knitter, I'm not very loose, I'm not very tight, so 3mm needles should be the normal needle size. Some people use 3.5. I have cast on 52 stitches. Regia also offers you a table with all the numbers, because if you use 6-ply yarn or 8-ply yarn, you have other numbers, obviously, than with 4-ply yarn. And I have a project page I can link in the description box below with the 3 charts for 4, 6 and 8-ply yarn, so you know how many stitches you have to cast on, you know how you have to divide your stitches for the heel, and you know how many decreases you have to do for the toe for a certain shoe size. Okay, 52 stitches, 3mm needles. I did a 2x2 ribbing, but I wanted to knit a pattern. As you maybe know, in the moment I'm on a sock kick, and I do really enjoy at the moment pattern socks, because yeah, it's more fun, because you have to do something else than only a knit stitch. And then I thought I want to make a pattern, but nothing too intricate, and so I decided to do 3x1. I wanted to do a 4x1 rib pattern, but it wasn't possible with 52 stitches. So I don't know if you can, it's maybe not the best to do from 2 to 3 here, but it looks tidy enough. The positive thing is that you can flip the cuff very easy and it stays where it should stay, because of the structure of the fabric you create when 2x2 ribbing lies next to 3x1 ribbing. Yeah, the opposite side, the left side so to say, is also very interesting. So you can consider to knit this as the right side, for example, to say if you don't mind purling, to knit to knit 1 stitch and to purl 3 stitches. I don't mind purling. I don't care about that, so maybe. I did a slip stitch heel because I was knitting the wrap and turn heel for most of the times the last years. My first pair of socks I did this way, but with a normal heel, not slip stitch. So heel flap and gusset. But as a beginner knitter, the heel flap, the heel flap takes you so long compared to a short row heel. Now I can't even imagine, I can't remember what was disturbing me so much, because that is such a fun part, and this, it's a fast thing to knit, and it's fun to do something else, but after a tube to knit flat and so on. So yeah, I enjoy it very much, and I have to admit that the heel flap and gusset is the best fitting heel, in my opinion, because you have much more room for your heel and it's not so tight here, because your heel is in your heel and the rest of the foot has enough place in the sock. Place, room. In German we say place, like a certain place for room. Okay. And then I knit a normal decrease toe. Because it's 6-ply yarn, it's much faster. I think this took me a week? Maybe I can check it and correct myself on the screen if I find the exact day when I started the sock. And last week I had so many appointments in the evening, so many Zoom conferences, so there was not much knitting time. although I finished them. So 6-ply yarn for the win. Now, why have I knit so many socks already in that? I have received my first ball of 6-ply yarn in Norway, in the Norway colorway, from Lily of Norway, because she knows that I love the Scandinavian countries, and so she thought it's a good idea to gift me a colorway that is called Norway. Yeah, maybe I should just show a little bit of this sock and not only talk. Yeah. I have knit an adult size pair of socks already in that. So yeah, when I decided what can I knit with it, I decided I want to knit a big size, shoe size sock pair. It's better to use 6-ply because yeah, 4-ply yarn for, I think the European size was 48. On the screen, please, you see the US size, and that is much easier to knit with 6-ply yarn. So, but I had still plenty left because a 6-ply Regia ball is always a 150 gram ball. And because I did contrasting heel and toe, I had much left. So I decided to knit a very small women's sized pair of socks in that yarn. A German 37, yeah. And I played Yarn Chicken and lost because I only did contrasting heel and toe. If I did also the cuff in the contrasting color, I would be good. I would have been good, but I ran out of yarn on the second sock, like here. So I had to order another 150 gram ball because you only can buy them in this unit. So I had another full skein, nearly full skein left. And I thought I would knit a toy out of it because I think Susan B. Anderson has, I think she was, or Anne and Carlos. I think that it was a bunny or a bear you can knit out of self-strapping yarn. It's very cute. But now Tommy requested a pair of socks because he likes the colors so much. And now I again have something left, and we will see. Maybe I will knit baby socks or so out of the rest I have still left. But I really like the colors because, you know, I like neutrals, and a little bit of interest here with the red is also nice. So yeah, that is my first finished object. My next finished object is also a pair of socks. I have knit another ball of my Opal yarn subscriptions. As you know, the colorway doesn't have a name because you receive them in the Opal subscription without knowing if they will ever be available in a normal collection. So you get 6 balls of sock yarn in every quarter of the year. So this is my third pair I have knit already out of the subscription yarns. That means 3 balls are left until I receive the next shipment on March 15th. Okay, let's talk about the socks. I have cast on 64 stitches. I knit a 2x2 ribbing, and then I have knit a free pattern by Erica Luder, which is called Weasley Homestead. These are the Weasley Homestead socks. I guess the pattern is inspired by the stairs or the staircases in the home of the Weasley family. I have decided not to do a contrasting heel or toe because I think this is a good example of a colorway which doesn't need a contrasting, because you have big stripes here on the heel part and it looks perfect. It's nice. So in my opinion, the pattern, the color repeats aren't broken. And this is very cute here. Unfortunately, the toes look a little bit different. I think both are cute, but this is very cute with this circle here. I don't know why this is different. I really don't know why. Maybe I have here and there knit 2 rounds less or more. I don't know. It's a free pattern by Erica Luder. It's very, very simple. It's only knit and purls. Yeah. And fun. It looks very similar to the Minecraft pattern. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. So I guess the fit is similar to the Minecraft socks. I have knit out of another Opal yarn. Yeah, again, slip stitch heel. I have to say about the fit of the Minecraft socks, Opal yarns, or in general sock yarns, in my opinion, tend to get slouchy when you wear them a few days. So I would suggest to, if you experience the same, I would suggest a sort of a rib pattern, and this is also acting like a rib, so it stays very nice on your leg and on your foot. It scrunches a little bit together, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it makes me happy. It makes me so happy to finish socks. The next finished objects, I can only insert a photo here because I have knit 3 pairs of welcome baby socks. As you still maybe know, or if you're a new viewer, very welcome by the way, I am hosting the Welcome Babysocks KAL. I'm working for a pregnancy help center and we have started a project there. So we ask for hand knit baby socks in newborn size and to ship them to us as a donation. And then we give away the socks to mothers to be who are or have been in a very hard crisis pregnancy or are still in a crisis pregnancy, to cheer them up and to show them, hey, we are all looking forward to your baby and this is how we show you. And we support them mentally and financially in addition to that. So we don't only give them hand knit socks. If you want to participate, I will talk about this later on in the KAL talk, and I will link the thread and what you have to do and all the information in the description box below. So yeah, I have last weekend dedicated my spare time to knit baby socks. It takes me 4 hours to knit a pair of baby socks ish. So sometimes I do contrasting heels, sometimes I don't do that because, for example, the green pair I didn't do because of the same reason as with the adult size socks. But I can show you, if you want to buy a baby sock yarn for welcome baby socks or your socks for the babies in your family, I can recommend My First Regia, because I have another ball. I have bought another ball because I really like them. They have designed this colorway or many colorways for baby feet or toddler feet, because they have smaller repeats. If you use a self-strapping yarn, a normal self-strapping yarn, the color repeats with less stitches get very big. So in an adult size sock you maybe have 2 or 3 rounds of one color, and in a baby sized sock maybe 10 rounds of one color or so. And the My First Regia have very cute colors and unicolors. I try to show you. Very, very cute, pastel-y and vibrant colors. They are very soft. It's the normal sock yarn quality, so you can put this in a washing machine, but they are very soft also. Yeah, and it's fun to knit with them. For a newborn baby sock pair, you need in an average 15 gram of sock yarn. So it's also perfect for stash buster, for leftovers. So I have decided to always, I try to be good, to always knit a pair of baby socks when I have finished a normal pair of socks. So I don't know if I will do this, if I do this with the 6-ply yarn, because maybe boots are better for that. But yeah, baby socks. It's so much fun. My last finished object is a very fun one. It looks fun, it was so much fun to do, and it's a quick one. So if you want to have a little bit of a palette cleanser or so and want to try something new, that might be something for you. I have crocheted this carrot. This is so cute. yeah. So with the carrot leaves here. Okay, this yarn is called, I will show you, Funny Scrub. This is a German yarn, but I know that there are several, no, not several, but some like these also available in other countries and by international companies. This one is by Realana Garne, as I told you, German. This comes in, I can tell you, in several different colors. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me count in German. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. In 17 different colors. And when I saw this yarn, I also saw this pattern book. It's very thin. And here are all the instructions for fruits and vegetables. Yeah. And so I thought, okay, I will try this. I will order 2. And I have crocheted this carrot. And what are you doing with this? It's Funny Scrub, so you can wash dishes with this. It's 100% polyester, so you can throw it in the washing machine on 60 degrees Celsius and use it again. You can also buy pattern books for Christmas elements or for Indian summer. There is a book about Indian summer items. And you can also get a book for the bathroom. So if you want to make like washcloths and amigurumis, for example, for children's when they are bathing and want to play with something, and you can also wash them with these animals, so to say. Yeah, and I think this is just too cute. Yeah, you see, it's not itchy or so. Yeah, I can also use this on my skin, definitely. But I think I wouldn't wash myself with it because it's plastic. But washing the dishes, I think it is a good way to use this yarn. It's fun. I can show you the strand, how it looks. Yeah, and I definitely will buy the pattern book for the Christmas things. I think here's one example. Here are the other books. So here's the Christmas one. Then, I don't know, is that the Indian summer? Yeah, Indian summer. And the toys for the end washcloth for the bathroom for children. Yeah, that was very much fun. It was a relatively quick project. So it's a crochet. In this book you only have crochet patterns. You can also knit them, but I think crochet is the better craft for that yarn. But because I'm not a pro in crocheting, it's difficult for me to see. I can't read the texture so well, so I decrease accidentally, for example, if I don't pay attention. Yeah, okay, that is my last finished object, which I like so much. Now we come to the works in progress. I have another crochet project. I have bought a relatively thin cotton yarn. This has 170 meters on 50 gram, so it's like sock yarn. And I'm crocheting a doily, so not out of this normal crochet thread you do, because I'm a beginner. I would see myself still as a beginner crocheter. And yeah, I have found a free YouTube tutorial pattern because I can't read the crochet charts yet, and it's pretty much only double crochets. and sometimes interrupted by chain stitches. Yeah, I want to make it like this big and then finish it off with a scalloped edging. So it's a pretty doily. And I want to crochet matching coasters. Yeah, so nothing to talk about really. I'm using a 3mm hook. On the tag it says 2.5, but for knitting needles, and in my experience you always have to go up half a needle size for hooks. My last work in progress is really only the cast on, but I want to show you. I have grabbed my next Opal subscription yarn. I will show you the ball. This is so pretty. I love that so much, and this is perfect for a pattern. And I will knit the Hogwarts Housecup Socks. I will insert a photo here of the pattern. It's a free one again, so I hope you enjoy that I show off many free patterns, because I'm a huge fan of free patterns, and there are a lot awesome patterns out there for free. Yeah, I only use the stitch pattern of the main, you know, the pattern. I never use the instructions in patterns for socks for the heels or the toes or the cuffs, because I always do it my way, and I'm only interested in the stitch pattern. So yeah, here is the yarn again. I have cast on, as you can see. It's a 2x2 ribbing. Yeah, and it's my Opal yarn. My goal is to finish my Opal subscription until the next one arrives. So that means I still have to knit 3 pairs of socks in 1.5 months. I can do that. But I also want to squeeze in here and there other projects and other yarns, because I have received many goodies. And let me check my... Yeah, that is our next slot. Let me check my notes. I was going to say, I have received so much yarn by a friend from Austria. She reached out to me and asked me if I want to have some leftovers and some skeins she is not going to use in the future anymore. Okay, and I said, yeah, sure, I'm always open for that, because I always donate yarn to people who can't afford yarn, or I give some yarns to the schools or kindergartens in the area I live in. And yeah, I'm always happy to share the yarns as a giveaway, and I also like to receive yarn goodies. And I want to show you some of the yarns she gifted me, because I was blown away by what kind of skeins she sent me. So she sent me leftovers from bigger projects, so whole balls, for example, you know, polyester and polyamide yarns for blankets and so on. Very pretty colors. I might make baby blankets for our pregnancy help center out of them. She has added some sock yarn. Like, I have talked about this company already very often, Woll Butt. So normal sock yarn. But she also added, for example, hand-dyed yarns. I won't show them all because it's too much. For example, woolen vine yarns. You know, that is a thing. It's not only expensive to buy hand-dyed yarns, it's also pretty much impossible to buy woolen vine yarns. This is Neptunia on infinite lace. It has 800 meter. I don't know what I do with it. Maybe I will give it away for one of our Knitalongs. This is Jarrett, I think it's called. It's also lace. This is Screaming Colors. Love is in the Air. Obviously a German dyer. That is nice sock yarn, I think. Another company I didn't know yet. I didn't knit with and didn't know about. It's Fadenbund, also German. Merino and polyamide, also great for socks, I think. This is awesome because this is merino silk, 50-50. It's so pretty and soft. I think I will make a hat out of this for me because I like these colors. Oh, I have to show at least these skeins. We have a few homespun house yarns. These are singles. So this pretty one here, oh, this is so stunning, is called Whimsy. This is called Family Secret, and I think she doesn't dye this anymore, or not often, because it's a very complicated yarn to dye, colorway to dye, I think. I can remember that she said this. Maybe also a hat. It would be awesome if you can write in the comments what you can suggest I could knit out of single skeins. So, I mean, not single skeins like I only have one skein of yarn. I mean, the yarn type singles, not twisted yarns. It would be interesting. So socks isn't an option, I know. Hats is a thing, KALs is a thing, but maybe you can suggest specific patterns. Again, Fadenbund. This is awesome. This will be socks. And Hedgehog Fibers, and this is Monarch. I love that. It's also a single. And the last one I want to show you, I think this will be a hat for me too, because this is very good with my starting point. It's Life in the Long Grass, hand-dyed in Ireland. Sapphire. It's also 50% silk, 50% merino. And here you can see, yeah, you can see sock yarns she has already caked up. Awesome. I think these are the Lakers colors. I can't say that I'm a Lakers fan, but when I played basketball on the PlayStation, I always played the Lakers. I don't know why, maybe because of Kobe Bryant. And the other one, I have forgotten his name. These two famous, I think, Lakers players. There is the small one, the smaller one, and the taller one. I have forgotten. I have Shaquille O'Neal. I think it's Shaquille O'Neal. Okay, Lakers. And this looks, in my opinion, so Christmassy. This is awesome. This is so pretty. And I think it's sock yarn. Sonja, wenn du zuschaust, sag mir vielleicht bitte, ob du weißt, ob das Sockenwolle ist. Oder was für ein Färber das ist. This is also awesome. Okay. These were my incoming goodies. Knitalong news. Okay. I have opened an additional thread for the February prompt for the Hygge Feet KAL. As you know, we knit socks throughout the whole year. You can knit all the socks, baby socks, adult-sized socks, sneaker socks, no matter which color or whatever. You can knit all the socks. But if you're interested in a little spiced up version of the Hygge Feet KAL, I will open every month a prompt, a thread with a prompt for the month. And this month, because of Valentine's Day, February is the socks in, so we want to knit socks in red or rose or pink or with hearts on the socks. Okay, so if you want to spice it up a bit, you can see here what other people already have knit. I have filmed a few glimpses of our thread life, so to say. Another knit along I'm hosting is the Welcome Babysocks KAL. Okay, you see here on the screen the thread, what other people have already knit, and I show you the hashtag on Instagram So if you want to participate, knit baby socks, post them on Instagram with the hashtag #WelcomeBabySocks, post them in the Ravelry group, and then it would be awesome if you send me a picture of your parcel or your envelope with the baby socks inside, so ready to ship, because the Knitalong contains that you ship these socks to our pregnancy help center in Augsburg in Germany. The address you can find in the thread, and I will also put the information in the description box below for our mothers in need. Yeah. And the winner of the Knitalong will at least receive 6 balls or skeins of yarn. This is the biggest prize I give away, because this is for me a very important Knitalong, because it's about mothers in need and welcoming their babies. Often the families aren't interested in the baby, and they criticize the young mother or the unplanned mother to be for her decision to choose life for her baby. So I want to support these women, and I want you to help me to support these women, and so you can get 6 balls of yarn if you participate. I have totally forgotten to talk about the Harry Potter knitting and crocheting house cup. This is the awesome KAL I wanted to talk about. You get sorted into a house of Hogwarts and then score points for the house cup. There are, for example, classes, olds, and also Quidditch. For Quidditch this month, we trained our stamina. So we should craft something that proves that we have endurance and stamina. There are classes like, for example, charms, where we study Lumos this month. The term has 3 months, and there are always break months in between, and then sorting does happen again. You should check this out. This is so much fun. So now I will come to the end of this episode with a few questions. I'm participating in the InstaKnitNight. It's so much fun. Every Thursday we receive a prompt on Instagram to post a photo and to say something about, for example, our current project or our favorite needles or whatever. Every Thursday you get a prompt. And I have browsed through former questions and prompts and you enjoyed my answers so much the last times that I decided I will answer 5 more questions from these prompts in the past. And the first one. Knitting and crochet mojo. Have you ever lost your mojo? If so, how long till it came back? Yes, I usually lose my mojo every year. It's like a big break. It can take 3 months. We will see how this will be this year. In the last years it was always during the summer. These were the times when I was coloring or reading more or making puzzles or diamond painting. It's just, if you don't know how this feels when your mojo is lost, you just don't want to knit. You are not interested in knitting or crocheting at all. You feel no inspiration. You would need energy to pick up your knitting. And usually it gives you energy when you pick up knitting. You can unwind, you refill your batteries when you knit or crochet. It makes you feel better. But when you have lost your mojo, it's the exact opposite of that. So it can take 3 months. I think that was the longest break I have had. And I do nothing about it. I don't force myself to knit or to crochet in these times. I just switch my crafts. And yeah, I love coloring. And that is what I do the most during my mojo downs. Show us where you knit. Your favorite chair, table, sofa, etc. Okay, I will insert 2 photos here. My favorite place to knit is usually in the living room on our sofa. And not because of the sofa or the place itself, because I am with Tommy. That is the thing. I don't want to sit alone in the room knit just because the chair is so cozy. I like to be around Tommy and Benny and enjoy their company. The best knitting scenery is when Tommy is reading to me. At the moment we are reading Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. He is reading to me, Benny is laying on his lap or my lap or next to us, and I am knitting and listen to him. That is my favorite scenery, so to say. I also like to be upstairs where I am now. You see this picture also on the screen, because it is a very bright room. We have much light in that room, natural light. And I have this chair with a footstool. And I like to be here and listen to audiobooks or audio plays. I do that in the living room too. I'm using my AirPods, and so I don't disturb Tommy if he is reading or doing something on the PC or so. So these are my favorite places. I'm looking forward to spring when I can sit outside again on our balcony and our terrace and sit outside and knit. So it's not only the place where I sit, it's also to have a nice beverage like a tea or cacao or coffee. I light a candle. I have a blanket over my lap now. Now it's so cold. Yeah, it's really my refuge, so to say. Yeah, I hope that answers the question. Favorite thing to knit or to crochet? Socks for knitting, blankets for crocheting. That is an easy one. How many works in progress do you have? So at the moment, active works in progress, I have 2. The doily and the sock. But languishing works in progress, or progresses that are in hibernation, I have 1, 2, 3 blankets and a sweater. There is a sweater, I think I only have to knit 10 centimeters of body and then I am done, but there is no inspiration for that. But they are languishing somewhere, so they are not active, so 2 works in progress. Monogamy. Are you a monogamous knitter or do you have multiple projects on the go? Yeah, that goes hand in hand with the previous question. I consider myself a monogamous knitter, although I have inactive works in progress. But when I decide I want to work on something, at the moment, since I think a year or so, I really work on one project straight. And sometimes, for example, when the setting doesn't allow me to knit on that project because it's a complicated pattern, I like to have another project in addition, like an easy crochet blanket or so. So that means it's not because I want to cast on other things. It's more like, okay, I want to have this specific project, but one in additional if I can't concentrate because I'm in company with people or I'm watching a movie. But I would call myself a monogamous knitter. Yeah, okay, that was everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this show. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to be notified when I upload my next videos, you have to subscribe to the channel, click the bell button, the bell icon. And for all the information, you look down in the description box below, and I hope to see you in our Ravelry group, because that is such a nice place to be. I think we will see each other in 2 weeks. Until then, enjoy your knitting and crocheting. Take the time for the things you love. Stay safe and bye-bye.